You know, the 1971 NHL hockey draft had something for everyone. It had a lot of superstars, a lot of mid-level players, a lot of firsts, a lot of prospects that didn't go on to major careers but left a legacy. Now, this gentleman who was drafted created a little bit of a stir. He was the first American ever drafted by the Boston Bruins, and that sounds bizarre because the Bruins were around long before 1971. Taken fourth round, 56 overall, the great left winger eventually excelled at Harvard before he went with Boston and a career with New England at WHA. Of course, we're talking about the very talented and sometimes very controversial Dave Hynes. Now, 5'9", 182, first came to major prominence as a grade 8 student when he played at the all-boys Brown and Nichols School in Cambridge, Massachusetts, before entering Harvard in '69. In that, he scored 60 goals and 18 assists for the varsity team as an 8th grader, which is considered junior varsity in Canada, in 1965. He eventually scored 38 goals and 14 assists as a freshman in '66. By the time his last season with Brown and Nichols came about, he had 80 points, including 52 goals in 16 games. Now, as a Harvard freshman, he had 48 goals in 1970 and 1971, added 26 goals and 26 assists for 52 points in 71 games. Now, he scored 48 goals again in 1970 on a line with Bob McMahon and Steve Harris. Now, as a high school senior, he had a great scoring touch, like I said, because he once scored 6 goals in a game. Now, he turned down an offer from Montreal to join the OHA's Junior Canadians so that he could attend Harvard. He won the ECAC Tournament's Most Outstanding Player Award with Harvard in '71 after scoring a hat-trick in the championship game over longtime rival Clarkson. Now, he also played right wing during his pro career. He also turned down a chance to play on the 1972 U.S. Olympic team just before the start of the Olympics in Sapporo, so he would not have to miss games at Harvard or take his final exams in Japan. The team then went on to win a silver medal. Now, he was an NCAA All-American East first team with Harvard in '72, an ECAC All-Star second team with Harvard again in '72, named the Ivy League All-Star first team with Harvard in like 1972 season. Now, he's the son of former Boston Junior Olympics player Sid Hynes, who became a policeman in Cambridge. Now, he eventually pursued a business career in the Boston area after retirement. He majored in history at Harvard and eventually became chief financial officer at MIJA Industries, a company that makes measurement systems for pressurized gas in items such as fire extinguishers. Now, he had an early exit at Harvard. Now, I'm just going to break it down. Bear with me. It's a little bit complex. He shocked the hockey world, college hockey world, on February 7, '73, when he abruptly dropped out of Harvard, ending his 4-year season run that including All-American honors as a junior. At the time he quit school, he was leading the ECAC with 15 goals and 34 points in only 12 games. The team had gone 10-2-0 over those 12 contests, and he played his last game for Harvard in the Beanpot Tournament at Boston Garden on February 5, 1973, a preamble to him again playing with the Bruins later on, as the Crimson lost the championship to Boston University. However, the following day, he did not travel with the team for its February 7th road game in Vermont. Initially, university officials refused to comment on the reason why he had left. Losing Dave will be a great blow to our squad, said Harvard coach Bill Cleary, of the player ranked third on Harvard's career scoring list at the time with 140 points. Not only was a superlative hockey player, but a fine person as well. We will miss him badly. The day after he dropped out, he returned to the Harvard rink to clean out his locker and apologize to teammates for leaving them. That morning, in its February 8th edition, the Harvard Crimson Elizabeth P. Eggert reported that a high-ranking source within the university had confirmed that Hynes had left school due to, all things, plagiarism. The source at the university had concluded that Hynes committed plagiarism when he turned in the paper for his natural science 11-8 course called Human Populations and Natural Resources. The source told Eggert that Hynes had copied his paper from the Suffolk Law Review. Harvard's penalty for plagiarism was 1 year of immediate suspension or 1 full semester based on the result of a formal appeal. There was considerable outcry at the time of the suspension, as many students felt Hynes did not receive due process before being told to leave. Some sense he was being singled out as a member of the hockey team, and he had shown a great commitment to his education by taking harder courses and, like I said, skipping the Olympics. Now, prior to the plagiarism charge, he had never been disciplined for more than a curfew violation, which got him a one-game suspension from the Harvard squad. With his college playing career over, he left school but said he would finish his degree after the suspension was lifted. In the meantime, he practiced briefly at the Bruins AHL affiliate, the Boston Braves, and then went over to Europe with the Team USA for the 73 Worlds before coming home to sign an NHL contract with Boston. He did eventually complete his Harvard degree and is recognized as a 73 graduate of the college. Now, he played on Team USA squad that again competed at a 72 IIHF World Championship Group B tournament in Bucharest, Romania, helping the team to a second place finish with 6 goals in 7 games. Now, when he left Harvard in 73, he ranked third in school history for both career goals with 64 and points of 140. He shared Boston University Honored Opponent Award with his Harvard line mates in 73, despite having already left school. Now, when he played on Team USA that competed in the 73 IIHF World Group B tournament in Graz, Austria, he led the tournament with 9 goals and added 6 assists in 7 games, helping the Americans finish second. Now, he became the first former Harvard hockey player since George Owen in 1933 to play for the Bruins when he made his NHL debut in 74. He scored his first NHL goal to open the scoring in Boston's 4-3 loss to St. Louis on November 12, 74. The goal was against John Davidson, and it was assisted by Hall of Famer Johnny Busick and the great Greg Shepard. Now, he became the first Rochester AHL player to score 5 goals in a game in a 13-1 home win over New Haven on January 17, 1975. He scored his 5 goals on 6 total shots, beginning with a goal 12 minutes into the first period. Now, he added goals at the 5:29 of the second, 16:44 of the second, 50 seconds of the third, and 1:07 of the third. His 5 goals surpassed the former team record of 4 shared by 3 players, and that record still stands. He finished 5th in the AHL with 42 goals for Rochester in 75. He tied for 4th in the AHL and led Rochester with 37 goals in 76, despite missing 13 games due to injury, and he was named to the AHL All-Star First Team in 76. Now, he also played on Team USA at the 77 IIHF World Title Tournament in Vienna, scoring 3 goals and 7 points in 10 games to help the team to a 6th place finish. He was inducted into the Harvard Varsity Club Hall of Fame in 96. He was inducted into Massachusetts Hockey Hall of Fame in 2010 as member of the Harvard's Fame local line. The line was also known as the ABC line, since one player was from Arlington, one from Belmont, and one from Cambridge. Now, he had some bad injuries. His career would hampered a little bit. He missed half of the 68 season with a broken arm, suffered, actually, get this, while playing football. He missed part of the 76 season with fractured cheekbone, suffered in Rochester's December 28, 75 AHL game in Nova Scotia. Now, this injury required surgery. Now, he was also selected by the New England Whalers in the 72 WHA draft, which was the first WHA draft, of course, in February 72. He was also a subject of a bidding war between Boston and New England in 1973. Again, the first American and Massachusetts-born player to be drafted by the Bruins. He also played the line with Shepard and Cashman in his NHL debut with the Bruins. Now, he moved from his natural position of center to left wing as a Harvard freshman in 1970. Now, he also played on a line with the great Gordie Clark and Reddy Drolet for Rochester in 1976. Now, his local line with Bob McMenema and Bill Corky for Harvard in 73 became legendary. Now, he played out his option with Boston in 76 before entering the WHA as a free agent when he signed with New England. Now, just to recap, 74 season with the Boston Braves, 72 points in 73 games. In Rochester in 75, 77 points in 59 games. And in 76 with Rochester, 67 points in 63 games. First season with Boston, played 3 games in 74. 75 four goals in 19 games. And with New England, 5 goals in 22 games. Now, he also played with Rhode Island that year of the AHL, 37 points in 46 games. And next season, 46 points in 46 games with Springfield. So almost 200 goals in the AHL. Between 150 and 200 goals in these campaigns, and like I said, a great scoring touch. But I think everybody can forgive a mistake. I don't know exactly what put in his mind to commit that plagiarism act, but the pressure probably was on himself or different people. But it's unfortunate it happened. Doesn't take away, again, all the different firsts he had playing with the Team USA squad that was relegated to the B level, and he helped him get back up. But all those years ago when he played as a young player, like the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, with his Boston minor hockey team, from 1963, pretty well to the time he was drafted by the Bruins in 71, he was on an echelon again for he was a groundbreaker for New England players, because I really don't know why that Boston wasn't recruiting, but he opened the door for the great American players that later played and were drafted by the Bruins. In the early 70s, there was a lot of Canadians who were in the system. We all know how many Oshawa prospects and different prospects across Canada and the Maritimes, out west, Ontario, Quebec, that the Bruins had on their system. And maybe they weren't taking of NCAA, but at this time, again, a lot of All-Americans were coming from New England at that time. It was a glory year. I still don't understand why he never took a chance to draft Dryden or other goalies or any other defensemen. But Dave, I can tell you something. When he came into the league, nobody was worried about the plagiarism. We were just wishing that finally someone to represent the hometown region of Massachusetts would finally make it with the Bruins. And, scoring 4 goals in that second partial season drew a lot of interest. And like I said, I'm celebrating all aspects of career in this podcast. It's not... We all make mistakes. I mean, I've never done plagiarism. I've plagiarized myself as a reporter. But, things happen. And cheating is not the sign of anything but momentary weakness, like I said. And, he backed it up. He's had a great business career. He went for his degree. It didn't, make a negative of what he did in his career. Like I said, he was a young kid. Things happen. When he hurt himself, he didn't hurt anybody else but himself. And Harvard, they had the honor code. That's the way it goes. You play your money and you take your chances. So if you like what we're doing here, especially our friends in Massachusetts and New England, please let us know if we're keeping good value to all the Boston podcasts. And as we like to say in the North Shore, if it's Chrissy Neidl versus John Cordick, you better get a case of beer out, because it's going to be talked about long after the 15-second fight is done. Have a good day. Bye.